Welcome to the first episode of the Radiant You podcast. Yay! I am beyond excited to share this journey with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this moment where we get to focus on you. We are going to focus on you and your growth, your wonderful light, your journey towards self-love, toward healthy boundaries and renewal. Before we get started, I'd like to share my purpose and mission statement. The Radiant You podcast is a journey of empowerment, support, and inner growth. It is a space to nurture renewal, let your inner light shine, and step boldly towards your amazingness, boldly towards the life that you are meant to live. Through inspiring stories, practical tools, and heartfelt encouragement, we explore the power of choices, the gift of awareness, boundaries, and the importance of rest, recharge, and self-love. Together, we embrace curiosity, gratitude, and connection as we take actionable steps towards self-discovery. This podcast is about showing up, taking action, and becoming your most radiant self, ready to celebrate and embrace all that makes you uniquely you. Yay! This podcast was born out of my deep belief that every one of us carries a light within, a radiance that is uniquely ours. But to let that light truly shine, we must start with self-love and boundaries. When we nurture and accept ourselves, we set clear boundaries and show up as our authentic selves. We begin to shine in ways that not only transform our lives, but inspire and uplift those around us. For me, this journey started many years ago with journaling. I wrote about walking alongside women struggling with their voices, self-worth, and limited support, and the courage to make the changes that they needed. Those reflections led me to dream of creating a safe, nurturing space where women could step away, breathe, and grow. That dream became the Radiant You retreats, which have been such a source of joy and transformation, and they're still going strong. But I believe that at some point I realized I wanted to share more and more often. I wanted a way to connect with even more women, offering encouragement and insights that could be part of their everyday life. With the love and support of my family and friends, this idea took shape. And now, here it is. Here's the more, the Radiant You podcast. I am so excited to walk this journey with you. Okay, so here's the first episode, right? I am sharing the core elements, the beliefs and values that I believe make the Radiant You truly radiant. These are the foundations that define and inspire this journey. As we explore them together, my hope is that you'll feel just as energized and curious about them as I am. Plus, I'll give you a sneak peek into the kind of insights and inspiration you can expect from future episodes. So get ready. Grab a notebook, journal, or something to write with. Or if you're driving, please plan to come back and listen again later. Don't forget your coffee, tea, or whatever you need to settle in and fully be in this space with me. Now let's do this. One more thing. Before we dive any deeper, I want to share something very important. While I am a licensed therapist, the Radiant You podcast is not therapy. It is a space for inspiration, for connection, for self-reflection, growth, and setting healthy boundaries. The tools and the guidance and stories are shared here and meant to guide and empower you, but they don't replace professional therapy or mental health care. If you need more support, I encourage you to reach out to a licensed professional in your area. So, moving on into the connection between self-love, boundaries, and radiance. I believe that self-love is the foundation of radiance, and boundaries are a vital part of that. It's about honoring who you are, your strengths, your struggles, and even all of that that's in between. It's not about being perfect. It's about being you. Setting boundaries allows you to protect your energy, make room for what truly matters, and love yourself fully. When we begin to love ourselves and respect our limits, our inner light grows brighter, and we show up in the world with more courage, kindness, and authenticity. I'll be honest, my journey to finding radiance through self-love and boundaries hasn't been easy. There were times I doubted my worth, feeling like I wasn't enough, no matter how much I gave. I tried to be everything for everyone: wife, mom, friend, daughter, sister, teacher, church volunteer, community volunteer. I stretched myself so thin, thinking that if I just did more, I'd finally feel worthy. But instead of filling me up, it left me drained and strained my most important relationships. Here's the thing. What I have come to realize is that radiance, true, lasting radiance, comes from within. It's not about proving yourself or being everything to everyone. It's about daily practices that honor who you are. It's found in the small, sacred moments, giving yourself grace, saying no when it's needed, protecting your peace, and even just pausing to breathe. These are the moments where we truly shine. This journey is about the small, intentional choices that we make every day to align with our values, nurture our well-being, and grow. It's about building awareness of who we are, what we need, and how we want to show up in the world. These choices and moments of awareness help us step into our radiance with clarity and purpose. When we make conscious decisions about how we live, we create a life that reflects our truest selves. Let's now look at self-love, boundaries, and courage. Ordinary courage. Loving yourself truly and unapologetic is one of the bravest things that you can do. It means facing your fears, challenging the stories that hold you back, and setting boundaries that honor your needs. Renewal starts when we choose to love ourselves enough to let go of what no longer serves us and embrace the possibilities ahead, including the boundaries that protect our well-being. This podcast is not fancy, but it's real. So looking at those extraordinarily ordinary people, that's real. And I have seen so many examples of courage from people who wouldn't call themselves extraordinary, like the parent who sets aside time for their dreams and respects their need for self-care, or the person who takes a leap into the unknown, setting boundaries along the way to protect their energy. These stories remind us that courage, self-love, and boundaries do go hand in hand to bring out the radiance. We're looking at rest, recharge, curiosity, and gratitude now. How does all of that come into play with radiance? Sometimes the most courageous thing that we can do is give ourselves permission to rest. Rest and recharge, they're not luxuries. They are necessities. They help us reconnect with ourselves. They renew our energy and find the strength to keep going. We need to rest to show up as our best selves. And to give ourselves that space and is an act of love and respect. Curiosity is such a powerful tool on this journey. I love that. I love that word, curiosity. When we approach life with curiosity instead of judgment, we open ourselves to growth and possibility. We can ask ourselves, what if I try something new today? How can I learn from this experience? What am I supposed to learn from this experience? Curiosity also allows us to stay open to change. Change is hard, but with curiosity, it can help. And gratitude, it's a way of honoring the beauty in every moment, no matter how big or small. When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus to the positive and invite more of that energy into our lives. Gratitude, it's powerful. So here is that moment where I get to reinforce the value of this connection. The value of connection. Oh, it's at the heart of this podcast. Connection with yourself, with others, and with the world around you. You're not on this journey alone. Together, we'll explore how to create meaningful connections that uplift and inspire. Whether it's through the relationships that you nurture with others or the bond you create with your own soul, the connection enriches our lives and helps us to grow in ways we cannot do alone. Let's talk a little bit more about what to expect from this Radiant You podcast. How we're going to connect with that self-love, boundaries, and some of the podcast themes that we've already been talking about. This podcast is here to guide you on your journey to self-love, renewal, boundary setting, curiosity, gratitude, and connection. Together, we'll explore practical tools for self-discovery, inspiring interviews with people who've reignited their inner light, stories of heroes, stories of heartwarming stories to remind you that you are never alone. We'll dive into what it means to take action, face your fears, set these boundaries I've been talking about, and nurture yourself every step of the way. Here's a small but powerful way to start practicing your self-love, setting boundaries, and making intentional choices today. I want you to pause for just a moment. Take a breath. Ooh, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and ask yourself, what do I need right now? Then honor that need. Whether it's rest, it's a pause, which we'll talk about in future wonderful episodes. Is it movement? Is it healthier foods? Is it connection or quiet? And if you need space or time for yourself, then set a clear boundary with kindness. Self-love and boundary setting aren't about grand gestures. They're about listening to yourself, listening to your body, and showing up for your needs in small, meaningful ways. If self-love, boundaries, or setting these intentional choices feels hard right now, that's okay. I want you to be patient with yourself. We've only just begun. It's a new practice. Be patient, but curious. And remember, even the smallest acts of self-kindness, intentional decisions, and boundary setting can create a ripple effect that brightens your life. I know all of this is a lot. All of what I've introduced to you, all of the elements, my core beliefs that make the radiant you truly radiant, the things that I believe define and inspire this journey that we're on. As we went through these, my hope is that you feel just as energized and curious about them as I am. I'd love to hear from you. Reach out with what about this podcast, this episode, and future episodes excites you, and pay attention to where you can be radiant this week. I can't wait to hear all about it. Share your thoughts with me on social media or send me a message. This podcast isn't about creating more chaos in your life. No, it's about creating a community. And here's the thing, your voice matters. I want to hear it. If this episode spoke to you, please hit subscribe. Leave a view, share it with someone you care about. Let's grow this radiant, self-loving, boundary-respecting community together. I really want you to know how thankful I am for you being you and being here and choosing to nurture your light. Remember, radiance is a journey, and simply showing up means you're already on the right path. Together, we'll explore what it truly means to embrace, celebrate, and shine as your beautiful, radiant self. Until next time, shine your light and be the radiant you. Bye-bye.